What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV. In today's video, we are going to talk about this custom 2021 Ford F-150. Before we get started in the video though, I do want to let you know June 30th is the last day you can enter to win the Ford Bronco Sport that we're giving away. So everything that you purchase on TCcustoms.com gets you automatic extra entries into that giveaway, so check out those links below. But in today's video, we're actually joined by Colton Love.
How's it going?
Absolutely. He's going to talk about the custom work. I'm going to talk about the actual Ford factory options to kind of give you an idea of what's going on with this particular build. By the way, this was a customer that reached out to us, said, hey, I want to order the truck and I want you guys to customize it before I pick it up. And that's what this particular situation is. If you want to go through that same process for yourself, the phone number is right there on the screen to talk to our sales department. If you already own the truck and you just want it customized, we do take outside vehicles. Is that correct?
We sure do.
So that phone number to reach him specifically is right there on the screen as well. So without further ado, let's take a look at this truck. All right, so first up, let's talk a little bit about the chassis, what's going on this particular truck, and then I'm going to tee up my man, Mr. Colton, to talk about some of the custom work that he did to this truck. Well, he didn't actually turn the wrenches, but he's been working with the customer. Is that right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't turn wrenches.
I actually have seen you turn wrenches. You're pretty good at it.
Don't tell him.
Anyways, this is a 2021. This is an XLT 302A equipment group. If you don't know, every trim level for the F-150 has got different equipment groups. So an XL has a 100, 101. You have an XLT has a 300, 301, 302. So that 302 means it's the highest version of the luxury version of the XL. Oh, wow. You know, funny story about that car, true story, is that vehicle does not belong to us. It was actually damaged at the railhead, meaning that the vehicle was shipped from Ford down to the said dealer, and before it even got there, the truck damaged it, and we actually do all the repair work in the area for Ford Motor Company. So when they need something done, that's the same people that are doing the custom paint work are also working on brand new vehicles and shipping them back out to the dealerships. But anyways, this is a 302A equipment group. It has the XLT Sport Appearance Package, which comes with carbonized gray front grille. As you can see, you've got a blue and silver or blue and chrome normal Ford logo. And we didn't really do anything as far as the front end is concerned. We didn't actually paint the emblems, which is one of our staples, which I'm shocked to see that that's not on there. Did he actually provide any input as to why he didn't want to do anything as far as paint work on the grille or anything?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I think some of it came down to budget.
Okay.
We definitely offered to have it painted. We explained to him, definitely ties in the truck a little better with the emblems and definitely adds a ton to it. Just when you see these trucks running around these custom painted emblems, you notice it. But yeah, I think it was a kind of a budget thing, honestly.
Well, very cool. And that actually brings up another good point. I remember this customer talking about the fact that he wanted to have like a Roush F-150, but didn't want to pay the Roush premium. And so I think that's kind of the overall theme of this truck. Is that right?
Yeah, he definitely wanted the Roush. And,
okay.
And I think he actually ordered this truck before they were technically released to be ordered. So he kind of sent me one that he wanted to base it off of, and we helped him out and kind of built the truck around that truck that he wanted.
Okay, well, tell us about what's going on in this general area.
In this general area, there's a lot going on, actually.
Come on with it.
So with any of the Roush F-150s, you get the Roush coilovers by Fox. So we went ahead and added those in there too. That's what he wanted. He wanted that nice riding suspension. That was one thing he definitely spent the money on, right? We couldn't get the Roush wheels for it, but we let him pick out a wheel that he wanted, and this is definitely a more popular wheel. It's the Rebel 6. It is a 20x9 with a +1 offset, and the reason we went for the 20x9 is with these new 21 F-150s, it actually does stick out a little bit from the fender well. Well, with that being said, he also wanted fender flares on this truck, and as you can see, he actually went with the Roush aesthetic and kept them a matte black color to kind of tie in that theme that he wanted. And I think it really lent into what he was going for with it.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and straighten out the wheel and tire so that way you guys can see exactly what it looks like as far as the offset is concerned. Because I know that's a big part of it is, hey, how much does the tires and wheels stick out? So tell us, you said this is a +1?
It's a +1.
Okay.
So, with the 15 to 20s, the 20x9 with the +1 was a pretty flush setup. But on these 21s, it actually sticks out 1 inch to 1.5 inches outside of the fender well. And these fender flares actually brought it in pretty flush. I mean, it's almost exactly where it needs to be flush with that. So I think that worked out really well, and it's definitely good knowledge to have to know that that's how you make those fit just right.
Well, tell me about those fender flares. What brand is that, and did we paint that, or is that unpainted?
So these are actually Bushwacker Fender Flares. He wanted the Roush Fender Flares, but unfortunately they don't make this style fender flare for the 2021 F-150 anymore, because they went with that almost like a wide body kind of fender flare on the new ones.
Yep.
And he didn't like that. But yes, we did actually paint these. They come kind of a matte black from the factory, the way they're built. But you know, they're unfinished and all that. So we basically went back, sanded them, got all imperfections out, and went and painted them black.
Okay, very cool. And yeah, I think that wheel and tire combination looks fantastic. And I'll tell you, that has been one of our biggest sellers, is that suspension system. So that coilover system, you know, because I see all the sales that go through. And you know, fun fact, you know, I don't know how long I'll be able to sustain it, but I actually do a handwritten thank you note to everybody that places an order on TCcustoms.com. But I see a lot of those suspension systems going out the door. So apparently a lot of people like it. It fits the 15 through the 21 model truck. So is that correct? So it's one for all of those year models.
Yes, sir. With the 21s, they do recommend that you actually turn them down just a little bit so they're not quite as tall.
Okay.
Because it can lead to a little bit of squat. With this longer truck, we really didn't have to do it. And normally the longer trucks actually have more rake from the factory, so we just left it how it was, and it came out perfectly level. Okay,
very cool. Well, I'm going to jump back into a couple of other cool features that I love about the stock F-150, and then we're going to get back, Colton, here in just a second to talk about something that is very, very important as far as the custom work is concerned. But one thing that I love about the XLT is they now have included push button start. So even if I have the truck locked, it actually will know that I'm walking up to the truck, and you can't really see it right now, but as I walk up to the truck, it actually illuminates the vehicle even before I get to it. And when you stick your hand in here, it automatically unlocks it, and then you can tap right there and it will lock the vehicle back as well. That's one of my favorite features on my personal F-150 Raptor, is the keyless entry, or the push button start, and I'm so glad to see that they have implemented this into the XLT. In fact, that goes to show another couple of other things, like the 12-inch touchscreen, and you've got the heated seats. They've really blurred the line of, do you need an XLT or do you need a Lariat, as far as, you know, what most people want. Now, everybody's opinions are different, but yeah, that's what's going on right there. So now I'm really excited about this last part, Mr. Colton. It's not a last part, we've actually got a lot more to cover, but I'm really excited about this particular setup we got back here.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead and tell me what you...
It's the fender liners. You really like the fender liners we had to every truck,
we do have fender liners.
Because it completes it, right? You really like those.
He's messing with me, because the fender liners are very important, because it finishes up that look in the back of the vehicle, because it looks complete in the front, but when you don't do it on a lighter color vehicle, it looks... Now, like if you've got a black truck, you may or may not need it, but on a brighter vehicle like this, that's important.
Yeah,
but no,
sure.
you're messing with the audience, man.
Oh yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
The MagnaFlow Black Tip Exhaust for the 2021 F-150s.
Woo!
This is the after the tire exit exhaust. We did put them on there for two reasons. First of all, it does have the extended step rail, so there's no way to get that to come out that side anyway.
Okay.
But also with the 6.5-foot bed, you actually can't do the before the tire exit exhaust. The way that they bolt in differently, the shorter one actually replaces a part of the exhaust that this one doesn't. So then it kind of cuts that out, and it actually doesn't go back far enough. But the long one does actually fit the after the tire exhaust.
That's interesting. So the reason that I'm so pumped up about a stupid exhaust system, and it's not stupid, it is stainless steel from the front to the back, and it's got the powder coated black tips, but this is an exclusive for TC Customs. So if you want an F-150 MagnaFlow exhaust system, but you want black tips on it, TC Customs is the only place in the world to get it. It's a private label manufacturer part. They're making it specifically for us because of our relationship with them, and obviously because so many of you guys watch our videos, so thank you for that. But the reason this is so exciting is we've actually had this in stock for a little while, but the second we got stock of the of the exhaust system, we ran out of stock for the trucks.
That's true.
And so we haven't really had an opportunity to showcase it to you in video format. of what that exhaust system looks like actually on a truck. So if you're wanting this particular exhaust system, you know what? He doesn't even know about this. I'm just going to pull this off out of the thin air. For the next 5 of you guys that order one, I'm going to give 20% off of each one of those MagnaFlow exhaust systems, whether you go the before or the after tire. So that you got the coupon code right there on the screen. That is good for the next 5 purchases on either one of those that you want. Black tip MagnaFlow exhaust. So there you go. So sorry
Awesome.
to
Hey, I'm not mad about it.
It's like a celebration, right?
Exactly.
It's a celebration. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the Ford factory features, and that's going to be with this tailgate. So with the XLT, you also now have the soft open. It is not the power tailgate like you can get on the XLT. So you still have to lift it back up, but I know first world problems, right? This particular customer requested not to do the spray and bedliner, but we do spray and bedliners here at the dealership, no questions asked. But I want to point out to you, this is what it looks like when you don't go with the tailgate step. So, you know, obviously you have the option to go with the tailgate step, and if you do, you press the button, it comes out. But it's interesting to note that even without the tailgate step, you still have this little ability to C-clamp your wood down here if you're working, you want to cut something off, because you still have your 400-watt outlet located in the bed of the truck. So it's pretty cool that they still give you that ability, and I just kind of wanted to showcase that to you. Now, a couple of other things, you'll notice that the box link system is not included on this particular trim level, but nonetheless, it is still a very, very nicely equipped vehicle. Let's go ahead and crank this thing up and see what this exhaust system sounds like. So what do you got in your hand right there?
I've got a decibel meter.
A decibel? Is that how you, is it? Decibel or decibel?
Decibel.
Depends on what part of Alabama you're from.
Well, I'm from the southern part of Alabama.
Time out for just a second. We are actually editing the video. We're in Josh's office, and we got a little bit of an argument on the decibel.
Yeah, we do.
So, I don't know how in the world I have made it this long in my life.
Decibel.
I'd never... I know I'm redneck,
Trying to make me feel wrong.
All right, let's get back to the video.
So it looks like at idle, you're about 87 to 90 decibels. Let's see what this thing sounds like revved up. All right, so there you have it, a clean 100, nope. So there it is, 113 decibels sitting still when this exhaust is revved up. And as you can tell, it's a good tone. It's not overly loud. It's not going to run you out of the truck. It's not raspy. It's a good, clean tone with a good noise to it.
All right, so now we are in the car. We've got to, let's kind of listen to what this thing sounds like. We'll turn the air conditioner down. You got the decibel meter as well, correct?
I do.
All right, fantastic. So we're doing 35 miles an hour. What does it show when I be quiet?
About 56.
Okay.
57 decibels.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's do a little acceleration and see what it says as far as that is concerned.
We got to about 79, so still pretty quiet, even when you're accelerating vigorously.
Absolutely. Vigorously.
Yeah.
Spiritedly.
Spiritedly accelerating. There you go.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what you're looking at. Now, I'll tell you that a big part of this is the fit and finish of the Ford F-150. So when you're outside, I've noticed it actually sounds really, really good and aggressive, but a lot of that noise doesn't make it into the cab of the vehicle, which I know is a big part of what people, when they're making that decision for the exhaust system. And Ford calls that their noise, vibration, and harshness, NVH. That's what they call that. And so basically there's sound deadening material all around the vehicle. The windshield is sound deadening material. There is a pane of glass, you have a laminate, and then a pane of glass that in between it where you can't see it, but it's there, and it's designed to deaden that sound. So I would have to say that this is a really good sounding exhaust system. What is our number one seller as far as exhaust system is concerned? Is it before or after the tire?
It's still going to be the before the tire.
Okay.
I think it's a price conscious thing, and a lot of people that do buy exhaust want it to be a little louder, and that is a little bit louder exhaust.
Why is this one a little bit quieter than the before the exit?
It actually doesn't delete the resonator from the factory, so the shorter one actually gets rid of one of the resonators. That's why it's louder, and it's also a little closer to you as well, being right behind the cab instead of behind the tire.
That makes a lot of sense. So that's going to be your biggest difference, is the proximity of the pipes and the deletion of the resonator. So if you're wanting that aggressive sound that you just heard then, and you're wanting it to be able to daily drive it long trips, if you're a road warrior, would you say this is probably the better kit for you?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Now, if you're wanting to piss off your neighbors, this is not the best kit for you.
Well, I
go
think
with the before the tire.
I think your neighbors would definitely. Oh, so if you want to make your neighbors mad,
well,
oh yeah, go with the before the tire for sure.
Okay, because I love the sound of this exhaust, but I like my exhaust like I am, loud and obnoxious.
There you go.
All right, so there's the Bessemer Police. We are driving the speed limit. Okay. All right, so this is 20 miles an hour. So let's set that cruise control at exactly 70 miles an hour, and let's see what we're sounding like as far as, well, we're going up a hill, so it's actually at 2,500 RPM.
And even going up the hill, I mean, you can hear it a little bit, but even if you just had the radio on, you probably wouldn't notice it at all.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, is this exhaust system disappears. You kind of forget about it until you step on it. All right, so we are on flat ground, doing 70 miles an hour, and it's at about, wow, 1,500 RPM or 1,600 RPM. Very, very low RPM. What does that decibel meter read?
66, 67 decibels.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even hear the exhaust right now. I think that's more of just environment noise, to tell you the truth now.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way, but then again, I'm also hard of hearing. So yeah, any of you guys that come into the dealership to say hello, first off, we welcome you and come on in. We'd love to say hi. But the crazy thing is that people are like, "Hey, Mitchell," and I don't even turn around. I'm not being mean, I promise you. I just can't hear you. So say it a little bit louder.
Yeah, for real.
And there she goes. So that's the exhaust system, that's the interior. Now let's talk about one thing that we had actually missed on the front. Colton, tell us about what's going on here as far as the windshield banner.
Yeah, so the customer specifically wanted a Roush style windshield banner. Unfortunately, with these new F-150s, you can see there's a camera there now, and it's very integral to the drivability of your vehicle. So you actually can't put a banner the way that Roush used to do it, but if you look at the new Roush F-150s, they actually do this banner right above the windshield. Yep. And we kind of just took a cue from them and got one of our local companies to actually cut this out and put Ford in there, and it turned out really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, and it matches, you know, even though this is vinyl and that is actually paint, it looks like the exact same type of material. I mean, there's really no difference there. So let's do this. Let's take a look underneath the hood. Obviously, since you've already heard the exhaust system, you know what the thing sounds like, but we got that 5-point engine, 5.0. Sometimes I like to say the 5-point slow, but it ain't slow. There's a couple of things that is really neat. I had somebody reach out to me on Instagram yesterday and he was like, "Hey, is the 21 F-150 5.0, is it the same as the 20 model?" And no, it is very different. So there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. And the biggest one is going to be cylinder deactivation. So this particular engine features something they call variable cylinder deactivation. So that way they can shut down one or two or a couple of different cylinders and vary which cylinder it is. So that way you're not going to have oil consumption issues like GM has had on the long term of the 5.0. And speaking of, we've also got the Roush Superchargers, because I know this guy was kind of thinking about, hey, I want a Roush F-150. The latest update you're going to find as far as the Roush Supercharger, it is definitely coming. You can expect that to be in the late fall, hopefully available for customer release would be my best guess. And although we don't have the horsepower and torque numbers ready just yet, from what everybody tells me, you're not going to be disappointed. So it's interesting to note, though, that the reason it's taking a little bit longer is that some F-150s now have Pro Power on board. Pro Power on board is that feature in the bed of the truck where you can have like 2 kilowatts worth of power, and when you have that feature, that option, there's an extra alternator. That extra alternator is right in the way of where that supercharger pulley is normally at. So that's what they're just doing. They're just re-engineering that setup to make sure that it's going to work flawlessly. So there you go. That is this particular video on this new 2021 Roush F-150 lookalike. call it the TC Customs, if you will. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. If you are interested in getting some work done, holla at your boy C Love, Mr. Colton Love. He's the one that makes me look good, because usually most of this custom stuff, he's the one that's designing it, getting it slapped together, and he's fantastic. So if you want some more information about customizing a ride you've already got, that phone number is right there on the screen. And guys, if you haven't already done so, leave some comments down below, smash the thumbs up button, and hit the subscribe button with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video. Peace.